Hello and welcome, Overwatch fans! We are here live with the EGFC. Yes, that is the Electronic Gaming Federation Collegiate side. I'm FBI Tug, but I'm joined here today with my man Beatdown Boulevard, and we got Juke down there in Producer's Box, producing away, making our jobs as casters just so much easier. Beatdown Boulevard, how are we doing today, my man?
Oh, I'm having a great time, FBI, Tugboat, and it just got that much better now that we're back on the mic together again, as God intended to cast this wonderful collegiate match of Overwatch we have going on right now. It's going to be CU Boulder versus Rochester Institute of Technology, and as always, map one's going to be Ilios.
Yes, sir. Little control action. Ilios first, Nambani second for our transition into what I guess would move away from the King of the Hill look into something more traditional Overwatch. Volskaya for our 2CP. If we do get there, Dorado, and then Lijiang Tower will be rounding us out for this week's map pools.
It's really funny you mentioned traditional Overwatch because I have like a fun OG Overwatch fact for you. In NA Overwatch, way back in the day, I'm talking the first year of scrims. I'm talking like 2016. Yeah, that's right. Pepper's Farm remembers it all of that. Yeah, quite literally.
Back before Apex meant something about a Battle Royale game, right?
Oh my God, so true. What a lot of teams did in NA was they actually would, traditional NA Overwatch was not playing 2CP. They scrimmed it once a month. I can't make this up. This is amateur teams, mind you.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Volskaya is literally just like kind of give that up and push it to the next, right? It was literally like not even practice, completely disregarded as a game mode. It's true. I stand here as I'm sorry.
I remember a manager once telling me it was like a fake game mode. It's not real Overwatch. That's what they said in 2017.
Yeah, in 2018, we'll no longer be playing 2CP or something like that. Hell, and here we are in 2020, just really wanting any news of Overwatch 2 after a full year, full 372 days now, I believe, of Overwatch 2 being announced, and then, well, you guys know how much content we've got since then. Ilios starting off here, a little control action. These ties are possible. This is not a best of 5. This is a first 2-3. So ties are possible, but not on our control maps.
That's right, and as always, control has definitely always been considered a different game mode. You see plenty of teams from amateur all the way up to the Overwatch League just absolutely dominate on control and then lose the next 3 maps. It's very interesting how different it is by comparison here, but overall, speaking of comparisons, we're seeing very different compositions from both of these teams. Rochester looking for more of this death ball composition. They want to slowly fight and whittle you down, especially with that May McCree. They have a lot of poke going for them. On the other hand, CU Boulder, they're trying to get right in there. A little poke from Daddy D on this Echo, and they're going to jump right into the action.
Yes, just to be clear, University of Colorado left in the blue. Daddy D, Parzival, Funkmaster, Ruby, Illicit, and Bird Boys making up that squad. That's going to be Funkmaster getting absolutely focused down and taken out back to spawn. On board with Choco main now, a little mini boosted McCree action after our recently patched 225, who would have guessed it. Actually a really well placed invulnerability shield is going to yield some really solid performance, but Bird Boy, Illicit, the 2 soft supports for the side of University of Colorado, just going to be really hard to get that one done, Beat.
Yeah, as soon as they lost Funkmaster, it was just pretty much an overfight from that moment. They're just cleaning up the scraps here on the side of Rochester, and it's unfortunate too in a comp like this where you have May, McCree, even Reinhardt if you think about it. Funkmaster got what I like to call hands off the keyboard stun, where there's no point in actually trying to interact with the game. You're just dead. And now you have this forward defense from RIT making it so hard for Colorado to actually move up here. They have to invest so much. You're already seeing the Echo.
Solid decision though, yeah. So Daddy D's choosing the Reinhardt, and if Choco Main had pulled that one 10 seconds ago before the Reinhardt switch, we would have seen at least 3 or 4 dying at 12 o'clock. As it is, Vanguard getting some good CC in here. A lot of pressure onto these tanks. One Diva down. Now the attention switching on over to Funkmaster's ball, but just like that, that is University of Colorado is taking it at even halftime, 50% even for RIT.
Yeah, it's tough too, because RIT invested a lot to hold on to that point, and they only managed to stall a couple of seconds. So now they're going to have to come back with just the amplification matrix ready to go. Hopefully Link will also have that Earthshatter, but if you look at the other side, Colorado have many ults to work with, and we're already seeing the self-destruct come through.
Ruby, actually, yeah, so nothing on that. There's the self-destruct. That was a remake, and then did only got the immortality field, so that's standard play when you're running Diva into your Baptiste absolutely swarmed now as Link FD, and they do not have the angle for that. That is Choco Main who came through and got a second high noon with absolutely no value. Attempted flashbang out. This is still anybody's fight. There's some longer range damage under Bird Boy, and that's going to be finished off by your Blue Jay Sigma player.
Ooh.
A lot of ultimates on board from RIT, and this is Vanguard just kind of freezing things out and making sure they take this point.
Yeah, but the point was... wow, actually, I kind of like that effect. But overall, Vanguard definitely over-investing there with the Blizzard. You didn't actually need to use that. The fight was in RIT's favor as it was. They aren't going to have that ready to go, but he is charging it pretty quickly. Funkmaster, though, he's looking for an ulti.
Rolling on in. Funkmaster has really just been forced to play off the back foot a whole lot here. Ruby has not spent a whole lot of time near him being able to utilize that defense matrix. This is just a University of Colorado squad that has been on the back foot trying to get a word in edgewise for, what, 40%?
Yeah, and it's tough too because RIT's composition, it doesn't actually let you pressure the backline. You have Lucio Bat, both very mobile supports. Who does Funkmaster actually get on top of? Now he's forced to use the ult just to get himself onto this point and to trigger overtime.
Here's another 12 o'clock. There's going to be one. Choco Main's not going to be denied thrice. Parzival, on the other hand, will be denied hard. A attempted death blossom out, and just through the thick of things, that was the University of Colorado that came within a hair's breadth of swapping this one, but 100-54 will be the result for our first game.
And it really does feel like a compositional diff there, like I was talking about, Tug, because there's no one for Funkmaster to really get on top of. Maybe he can pressure that McCree, but he also has that flashbang to give himself that little bit of self-sufficiency. You have Vanguard on the Mei, who's going to, well, turn this hamster into a hamster popsicle, and we saw that happen time and time again. Funkmaster couldn't find a way in. The rest of the team didn't really have a leg to stand on there, and I think unfortunately they're going to hold on to the same composition where I don't think they'll find any more success here so far. Parzival and the Tracer might be a little bit better, but we're in the same issue of this Tracer is going to get blown up. One flashbang, one freeze, done.
Yeah, looking at the Blue Jay Sigma too, this is no pushover. Blue Jay knows exactly what he is doing. He was the guy with the spiky boys out earlier. I was saying that because I've only seen that that skin, that entire skin, a couple different times. Bird Boys with a cheeky attempt here. This is a University of Colorado squad that apparently does not see any problem with trying to run two soft supports again after what happened. Now this is a different. Wow, what a boop. Okay, it is not that often you get divas all the way down like that. Very impressive. That's actually here. He's getting it absolutely going. Hands down, almost doubling up against his rival Lucio's ultimate charge so far.
Yeah, Actual's been having such a good time early on, and overall, RIT, again, still completely in control. Yeah, the point is smaller, so Colorado likely thought that they would have had an opportunity to get in close and really capitalize on that damage we're seeing from the Echo. And although some damage is going off 90% towards the ultimate, it hasn't really done a whole lot. Now we're seeing some swaps. Ruby is switching over to the Zarya, which is not a bad look, but Funkmaster's still on the wrecking ball. You got to swap that out. It's not working here.
Yeah, I'm 100% with that. The classic Run Zarya is there for a reason, even if it's not that, just literally. I think outside of, even Roadhog might not be bad here because this is of course Elio as well.
As well, yeah.
So yeah, exactly, yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself, my friend. Reinhardt, there's our Reinhardt. Speaking of Shallop here, swinging away against this Mei. A ice wall on the other side, not gonna do well for her. That, excuse me, that ice wall is going to do the exact opposite thing that our copied Reinhardt really intended. Focusing beam gets a lot of value from that one. Actually, trying to finish out a couple ones on this one as the Gravitic Flux takes out one rival tank on this. Ruby taking out on this one. Freeze out, freeze in against Illicit. There's a second one as well. Bird Boys falling on there. Actual getting a little assistance from his friends. That's Vanguard. 67-68%. The side of RIT. No point, no sign of stopping. That's what I'm trying to say.
Not at all. And honestly, RIT, though they invested a lot of ultimates, they're getting close to that 1-5 territory here. Colorado really only have one shot left. You can see a lot of big ults coming online. Funkmaster again with the Hail Mary proximity mine. Will it work?
Yeah. I mean, anybody worth their salt, this is a Reinhardt knows you can pull out that big, four-digit health shield and just run through a couple of them. Unfortunately, Now all the support in the world will keep him from dying early out there. Link FD did get a little bit of attention, but just like that, the charge out forces this out. Now a 2-0 in game number 1 for RIT.
And it just feels like I got to point to this Wrecking Ball more than anything else. It feels like Funkmaster didn't have anything going for him at all series. It was a very solo queue-esque kind of experience where it's like, don't worry, guys. The Wrecking Ball is going to work. And then they jump on the point, and lo and behold, it doesn't work, especially into May McCree Sigma. I still come back to the same question. Like, who are you going to jump on? Who are you going to be able to hurt? Bap, who's going to jump to a high ground? Lucio, who's like the epitome of you're never going to catch me? No one's going to get hurt.
Yeah. And that's not just because Ball has to sit along the ground, right? Like, yes, he gets his grappling hook, but in the day, Lucio's just going to straight up get out of dodge. And there's no kind of diving that a Ball can do against a tank to really take him out of the take him out of the mix like that. Stuns are going to work all day long in between the Sigma, the Sigma accretion, the flashbang, and the freeze. There's not a whole lot that a Ball is going to be able to get accomplished there, especially with that big old hitbox. Nambani next. I would have to assume there's going to have to be some wholesale switches composition-wise if Colorado, or the University of Colorado Boulder wants to remain competitive in this, right?
Yeah, you're definitely right, Tug. At this point, I want to see like a garage sale type of swapping going along here for Colorado. Definitely. Although I actually think Daddy D on the Echo wasn't very bad. I think Echo is pretty good on Ilios on any one of those points, but the rest of the comp that the team was running wasn't really working out for them there, mostly because of them running a dive comp with 0 dive pressure. So now I think on a map like Numbani, you could succeed in trying to run that on the offense, because on that point A offense, people usually split with the way they hold defensively. You have your supports on the high ground, depending on who they are, front line either up on that first doorway there onto the right side, or sitting on the point in some situations. So a dive comp could take advantage of that common defensive setup here. So maybe a similar comp could work for Colorado. But again, once we get out of the point A phase, I want to see that gone.
Yeah, once you exit the hybrid, the first take a little point, once you start moving a little payload, not 100% sure how that would work. Especially, you get a little bit of healing from the payload. I remember I played Overwatch for 3 or 4 months before I realized the payload heals you very, very slowly.
It took me so much longer than that. maybe a year and a half.
Yeah, I'll never forget that one. Just randomly, look at the health and hey, is there a Lucio around? I don't know. 30 seconds
like, where's my health coming
into this one. We have switched here, so now RIT on the left in the blue, headed by Daddy.
No.
No.
What it was is the sides were the same. Turns out Essel is being swapped out for Vanguard for the side of RIT. That was the swap.
Gotcha. So yes, one of the tanks for RIT. RIT still on the right in the red. That's how I'll remember it. Now, this is kind of what we railed against a little bit, but at least this looks a little bit more like burst damage-y, right? Between the Echo, Junkrat, little ball action, little Winston.
Yeah, and you can already see the defensive setup coming out here from Colorado. This is kind of what I was talking about. This is how teams do tend to set up here. So when they go on the offense, they could play the sort of dive composition here. But if we're looking on the other end, this time around, RIT attacking first. They're the ones who want to make this dive. Look at this Junkrat, which I'm not sure about, gets taken out very easily. Yeah,
Daddy D now gonna be taken out for his aggression afterwise. Even with a Mercy, even with an Ana, there's way too much damage coming on to Link FD's Winston on that one. This is RIT coming back a little bit, maybe providing a little bit of point pressure. No, they're not. Yeah, they're not done with this one quite yet. Actual got the res offs. They're at a full 6, or these will be very soon once this Winston is able to come all the way back here. Just spray and pray. That's what it's called.
Yes.
Essel, there's the Junkrat. He's gonna do great jobs wasting out these shields, but this is really what RIT wants to go for. Something that puts them way closer to point while their ball is providing that distraction over the side. Still a lot of damage here. Not really even able to coordinate too much on that. And
there it is.
Wow, yeah, so just like that, the Chaco main Echo and the Vanguard ball work out all day long. RIT continues their just absolute maintenance of progression? Momentum, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and overall, like getting these punish kills is really great for them as well. As long as they capture the point quickly enough, Vanguard may actually spawn on the other end of the map here. The interesting thing that you brought up too, especially was I saw on this Junkrat actually did end up working out, as you pointed out. The wasting of the shield was super helpful and made the dives more potent, and now another pick is going to make that even more true.
Yeah, that's Choco Man absolutely showing out here, and as we can see, we see a full glowing RIT squad. Everybody with ultimate on this one. SL falling first again, which actually kind of seems like that has been the name of the game. And Parsifal, if you're gonna be running the Hanzo, you gotta be able to land those shots.
Yeah, for real. Unfortunately, taken out by the proximity mines. Link is going to need to back right off. But overall, you see how they have one person on the cart here, while the rest of RIT just keeps punishing, keeps getting picks, and Colorado don't actually get to mount a solid defense. They haven't gotten to since point 8 tugs. So this whole time, they're fighting these fractured fights where you just have SL and now ZP Link just hanging back on the card. And they've just been cruising through the street space here on Numbani so very easily. So now finally Colorado have 6 ults to work with here. They have the 6-pack ready to go, but let's see if they can find anything.
Yeah, tire first for Estel, and that might be everything in a bag of chips. 2 ultimates dropped. That is the tank ultimates and a big Hanzo ult wasted for the side of University of Colorado. That's how you switch. Absolute momentum and just being able to, again, maintain that presence. They're still pushing point.
Yeah, really well played from Essel, who honestly picked a great position, knew a hard engage was coming through that choke point, and took complete advantage of their unawareness of what's going on above them. And now 4 minutes 45 seconds into this last choke point, and we see a desperation comp swap come out here. The Sigma Roadhog from the likes of Colorado can make use of these tight corridors, especially if you get into Hog's line of sight, but he's got to land those hooks.
That's still continuing to just provide value all day long. And a nice little trap, and that interrupts the healing as well. Daddy D forced to toss that one out. Is going to get one. Yeah, that's the Ana not able to get out of dodge on this one. Link FD falling in the thick of things, but the res coming through, and again, the side of University of Colorado is not able to interrupt a res, even if it's going on right in their face. Vanguard diving in here, minefield first, and that's Ruby forced to several of them, absolutely taken down afterwards. That sound barrier did not come in time for your tank. Vanguard is forced to come back a little bit, but now pushing forward and providing that distraction action for his Mercy. Actual and ZP Link both out of this one. Choco Main follows. Parsifal actually playing out very well right there.
And finally, Colorado get the fight they're looking for. Unfortunately, it's at the very end of the map, so now they got to win a few more if they want to actually dissuade and prevent Rochester from actually finishing out here on Numbani with such a dominating time bank as well. There are ults on both sides, but it's worth pointing out, Essel has the Riptire again. Got a nasty triple to guarantee the second capture point here. We're going to see what he can do with it now.
And you notice where to put it. Now actually flanking around the side, trying to give us a little bit of time. That's a nasty shot and nothing this time. Okay, so a well-coordinated University of Colorado team does take that out, but through the thick of things, they're paying attention to they're just paying attention to other stuff. So even if the tower didn't take down a 3-piece this time, beat the simple fact that the tension was diverted there and players fell in the thick of things, that's really, same result, right?
Yeah, you're exactly right, because at the end of the day, it's either Essel putting out a ton of damage, picking up some kills with the ultimate, or everybody's paying attention to the Junkrat, and Rochester are just running train on the rest of Colorado here, and it just feels like a catch-22. Either you focus the Junkrat, and the rest of the team kills you, or you don't focus the Junkrat, and he gets all the damage he pleases into you. So Colorado really struggling right now. Especially you saw that even though the Hog Sigma swap at the end there did yield some positive results overall, I don't think that's a comp you can depend on.
Yeah, I'm with it. Essel really getting a whole lot of value there. At the end of the day, I really have to speak to how prominent RTI's like burst damage capabilities are. Link FD did a really good job whenever he was supported by his squad, right? ZP Link had some really solid healing on this pass, but whenever Link FD was left out in the lurch, just like any Winston, there's only so much you can do. Parsifal back on over to the Doomfist, so really a wholesale switch from a hitscan McCree, flashbang and all to the Doomfist. I mean, looking at what his target's going to be outside of the Ana and maybe the Sigma. I mean, Junkrat can get out of dodge, Echo can fly.
Yeah, it's gonna pretty much be Anna Sigma, maybe Junkrat if you catch Essel without any landmines there. But overall, I think the comp might be okay. The problem with Genji right now is he needs to snowball, he needs early kills to pick up those resets, and they could be well on their way to those.
Funkmaster going to be the Winston who dies first on this one. Daddy D following suit on this. Essel continuing to provide all the value in the world. Vanguard not letting that diva go. Turns his attention to the skies. There's going to be a pretty one-handed fight here towards the beginning. Illicit and Bird Boys will be a little bit of cleanup action here. Lucio's trying to get out of dodge. Actually does for the time being. Yeah, back with the rest of his team. So no last kill on that one.
I will protect the innocent.
Again, just overall, we're already seeing swaps from the attacking team, but it's Parzival who wants to swap. I honestly think if that first engage doesn't work, you probably want to get rid of the Genji, because as time goes on, if he's not getting any value, it becomes increasingly useless, if I'm being honest, with the way he feels nowadays. So hopefully Parzival can get some kills in the distance, but Chuckleman's dealing damage too.
Yeah, Funkmaster getting first one on this one again. Solid dive, not able to get out as Ruby on the diva again. Meanwhile, Reses are coming through, so University of Colorado not super down in this fight. They have lost 2. Link FD is very, very low, and Vanguard's out of this one. Here comes the tire, though. Yep, that's the ace in the pocket for the side of RIT. They do have the Echo ultimate as well.
Oh, he wants it.
Going on right now. Link FD getting up close, and he knows that Winston damage will only match the Mercy healing, but he gets a little bit of help from his friends. It is a team-based game, Feed.
But he didn't even have to commit the primal rage there. Insane, because now that's going to be so useful for this next fight too. We're seeing another swap. Daddy D off the Genji finally onto this Reaper. Can do away with these dive tanks, but he needs to find them and not let them jump away like that.
Yeah, the classic Nabani with switcheroo right there. Tanks go one side, utilize their movement abilities, forcing the Reaper to come up on it. A huge Sigma ultimate on that. Anytime you're getting 2 kills on a Sigma ult, it's going to be... that's all the value in the world, man. Choco Main does pull this one out, so does take out a little bit at the end, but that was just kind of cleaning up this last team fight. Focusing beam almost finishing out that Winston there.
Yeah, that is some insane damage there, and honestly, a good copy, too, to just provide that extra AoE damage here. And again, now we're down to 1 minute 30, Tug. And if they win this one, Rochester are going to be up at match point already in the series. It just seems like they can't be beat right now. Colorado are hard-pressed to find a way to do so. Only 2 ults to their name. They might try to bait some ultimates out for this fight and re-engage after, but here comes the bomb.
Self-destruct over the top. That's going to land right there towards the middle. Ruby already back into that mech as Link FD going to town here on the stationary supports. The Valkyrie out. Bird Boys, the nice timing on that one. Back over. Illicit's not going to be able to get out of that one. That will not be denied. Rez is going through in the middle here as Chalkamine back up. Full 6 for RIT, and that's a big opportunity, but Essel turns attention to the skies. Only 1 tick of progress for the side of University of Colorado. They still have another shot here at 30 seconds, but what ultimates do they have? They have the Death Blossom here soon, maybe Mines?
Potentially, if Funkmaster can get it off. 30 seconds left, though, is a tough thing to depend on. And Tug, Essel has another Rip Tire, and all but one have been so very effective here against Colorado. There's only 1 chance they have left, and look at where Essel's standing. He's waiting for that engage, and they won't expect him to be there, and that's the beauty of those Rip Tires. If they come from those unexpected angles, it's so hard for them to deal.
That tire's super low, but still gets Illicit. Bird Boy's the only healer on board for the side of University of Colorado. 2 seconds in, Art does get a touch. Daddy D so low, and the other DPS falls. That's Parzival. Now, Daddy D down bottom, providing value down bottom here. Pulls the Death Blossom, but not going to matter. Choco Main pulls out the focusing beam and more, and even copies him at the end. Insult to injury. Kicking a team while they're down. Second tick, no, just shy of second tick will be their progress, it looks like, and I don't think, not going to be a touch available.
Not even close, it looks like. Rochester take another commanding victory here, put themselves up at match point at 2-0. They just can't be stopped right now. I said it before, I'll say it again. Essel on this Junkrat, a pick I wasn't expecting to pop off the way it did, especially on offense, but here it is, the second point cap into that triple kill, or if you include the supercharger. And just, what an unbelievable play here from Essel.
Yeah, especially on Mbani. So typically you kind of think of the way this payload goes and the walls they're in, providing more value. But really, Essel just played perfect Junkrat positioning on that, right? We saw him tucked into a corner over there by stairs on point 1. We saw him hanging out on the rafters like constantly, but he was always down bottom when he needed to be as well. He provided a little bit of value for his supports as well when the dive did come in. Yes, this was all RIT, but CU Boulder definitely had some solid shots in this and individual team fights that did they did get one. But we're going to go to a very short break. We'll be back with you guys in just a couple minutes while these teams figure out what they want to do. Because this is the University of Colorado Boulder, excuse me, possibly playing at their last map.
It seems you wanna stop my dreams, trying to get my team to give me up for free. But obstacles I've won through everything I've done got me to this stage to rock this cabaret. You say that I need you, cause I am so brand new. I thought it might be true, or what am I to do? But then I look into your eyes, and all I see is your face. So no, I won't buy your compromise. Get over yourself. 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 So now you got me here. You think you got me worried, telling me keep waiting.
And we are back, Overwatch fans. Getting back into this one, looking like a University of Colorado squad who wants to default back to that 2 soft support lineup. It provided them value sometimes on Ilios, but obviously we do see the scores reported from there. 0-2 on Ilios on the first map for University of Colorado. They lost that one. RIT taking the second one as well. 0-3 on our Nambani match, and that is not for lack of trying. That is definitely not for lack of different team compositions. Am I right?
You absolutely are, Tug. We got a couple of different looks there from Colorado. Some desperation, some seem like tried and true practice strategies, but none worked in the face of Rochester. They just seem to be like a force of nature at the moment, just bulldozing through them. And now at potentially the final map here on Volskaya, we're going to have to see something happen here. Funkmaster with the flank?
Yeah, Funkmaster. Yeah, with the flanking flex right here. Got a solid little bit of damage on the beginning, it looks like, or just kind of some interaction there. Chaco Main trying to move up top, get that medium range damage across. So we're looking at University of Colorado squad. Yes, 2 soft supports, but at the end of the day, everybody here does have sustain abilities in and of themselves. Parsifal's got that healing. Funkmaster's got that big old shield. Ruby will be kicked out of mech before actually dying. The other 2 are supports. So Ruby, Funkmaster getting out of dodge on this one. Lucio coming out for a cheeky poop attempt. That's actual there, trying to end a couple tanks on the side of Colorado. Early, Ruby comes up to try and give a little bit of damage, but that's going to be way easier said than done. He's not going to be able to get on that one. And just like that, Elizabeth, Birdboys, Ruby, all done. This is going to be RIT taking first point very handily.
Choco Man, pretty nasty with the shots there. I gotta be honest, he is just hitting everything at the moment. And like you said, easy first cap here for RIT. They're gonna try to transition that to a second point capture as well. They're not really close to any ultimates other than that nano boost, which could go on to Essel, which I imagine once he has the Dragon Blade ready to go. But I think they're gonna see what Choco Man can do with this Deadeye, what kind of picks he can get, what kind of abilities he can bait out here. Because if you look, we got swaps from Colorado, so a lot of their economy is just back to zero.
Yeah, Bird Boy is now onto that Baptiste. Got the main healer action coming in here. Choco Man getting some good damage in edgewise. So he was at 101 there. A Fire Strike comes across, and I can do that math. Man was hair's breadth away from being literal one. So 5 minutes, 10 seconds on this one. RIT with some really impressive stuff. Bird Boy's falling first. Yes, the flanking McCree. He is alive, and he is well beat down.
And so is the push of RIT, as that's going to be an ace here for them. And some spawn camping as well. Oh, Ruby, she gets knocked off the side. You hate to see it. And that's a filthy time bank in favor of Rochester. 4 minutes, 50 seconds.
Full 2 points on our 2 CP on that one. And yeah, just shy of 5 minutes. What, you start the game with 4 minutes, right?
Yeah. So they actually started with that. They have more time than what they started with.
Yeah, University of Colorado. What's I'm kind of grasping at straws here to try and figure out what exactly it is outside of what I've already pointed out, which is it just doesn't seem like this is a situation, Overwatch 2020 that is, where you can play those two soft supports very frequently.
It's going to be really tough. In those scenarios, they can work, but you have to be very coordinated because of how squishy your comp is in nature. You do offer a lot of burst damage, especially when you have Zenyatta in that mix, but you have a very short window of opportunity before the health bars start running out because the healing just can't keep up. And overall, too, I think RIT's players are just performing much better right now. If you look at Essel making things like the Genji work, like the Junkrat on offense on the hybrid, you don't see that a whole lot of the time. Even like any meta I can think of, it's very uncommon. Junkrat on the defense, love it, see it all the time. Offense, not always.
He was playing it too, you know.
Yeah, and this is just what's been working for RIT, and I feel like the players are just all on peak performance right now, firing on all cylinders, if you will, and it's tough for Colorado, who seem like they're struggling compositionally and also in these head-to-head matchups.
I hear you. So I get it a little bit more now. RIT, all their players are simply executing their roles a little bit better. I think that's the big defining factor so far. Choco Man on that Echo, not something. He's mostly been on that McCree and otherwise, but different story here on this one. Looking for a full rotation here, with actual getting a nice headshot at the beginning, and Echo here as well. Man, oh man. So Vanguard does get taken out. That's solid for University of Colorado. Sigma is obviously pretty slow, but going to be a tall order for them, that is University of Colorado, to get back into this one before Sigma gets back.
Yeah, they're trying to keep themselves alive so that they don't get staggered out anymore, just barely. They're able to escape with their lives, so we get a much sooner engage from Colorado. But who we didn't actually point out, speaking of Essel now, he's playing the Torbjorn. Definitely not a strange pick on defense. It's actually quite good all around these days since they reworked him for what I'm pretty sure was the second time. So it is pretty solid. A good look from him, but it's interesting to see how many different champs we've seen him play today.
Man, oh man, actual just sends a barrage across, finds one through the thick of things, like he's finding lint in his pocket, beat. Easy kills coming out from a Zenyatta like this. Funkmaster over on the side. They are down a man so far, but Bird Boys isn't Lucio. Could be back very soon. Swinging away at the door here, that's Funkmaster, but every single time he puts an eye out that way just to see what's going on, he loses 2/3 of his health.
It's really tough, especially with that shield not being as strong as it used to be. They're trying to find their way onto the map. Coalesce is coming through.
Some solid damage onto this Echo off the beginning, but a charge in doesn't even get. Oh my goodness. Choco Man is at 4. Uno, dos, cuatro, or Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, 4. That's what he was at. That finish shatter. That is ridiculous.
And making it 5. Choco Man can't be stopped right now. It is rightfully on fire, and the clock is just being run out, drained, as we're sub 2 minutes now, Tug. In Colorado, you can see again more swaps coming out. It just feels Again, this just feels like a desperation scenario. Back to comfort picks as you see Funkmaster back on this wrecking ball. He seems to be very comfortable on, but into the composition we're looking at here, that's going to be a tough one. You need to get a good grappling hook to displace them, knock them off of this high ground. Otherwise, you're just taking free damage.
I mean, that's the thing. Echo is the only super mobile one of these. Yes, ZP Link on the back can move up and down, but if you get a solid hit there, but just doing that is a different story. You're doing that into an Orisa, you're doing that into a Torbjorn, you're doing that into that a Vanguard Sigma who's going to have that accretion. But now, every ultimate on the board, it looks like, happening up top. That's the place to be where the cool kids hang out. As, what, equipment just gets absolutely deleted left and right. That's Illicit's invincibility shield, ZP's invincibility shield, a Torbjorn turret, everything that is not an actual person died for the side of both sides, excuse me, as well as some people. University of Colorado using 2 on this. They're trying to get back as another change comes in here again. Daddy D now onto that Hanzo.
Yeah, and could get a pick. He actually gets Essel, and they already had... This was already a really scrappy fight for both sides here, and the attacker's advantage is definitely coming through. So this is do or die, 30 seconds left. The last chance here for Colorado to finally make their mark on an objective here, but they're running out of time. They have to push forward.
Funkmaster getting a lot of damage there. Ruby doing what he can to get that defense matrix up. We're looking at a waiting Vanguard and a couple other RIT players, including our Choco Man Echo here, trying to get some damage in edgewise and just kind of wait for Colorado to come back around. Window up top. That's going to be it. Self-destruct, but I was going to say, the invincibility shield is out as the constant classic counter to self-destruct. Echo copy going to end very, very early here. Choco Man back to normal as Alyssa gets taken out there. Red's all over this one with only Daddy D and Parsifal left. Not going to matter. Another 2-0 here in game number 3. RIT absolutely rolling.
And they made it look easy too, Tug. It's so hard, especially for Colorado, who again, if you just look at the individuals, once again, Essel was play of the game, speaking of, they don't have a chance of outperforming today. If you just look to the point where Essel can just style on you with hammer kills, that's got to be demoralizing. And we saw the effects of it because, again, you already know about the global nerfs to economy that happened recently in terms of ultimate economy, rather. Hey, you can't afford to just keep swapping your composition as often as maybe we used to in Overwatch, but we're seeing Colorado do that a lot of desperation swaps. Oh, damn, this isn't working. That's not working. We got to swap again and again and again. And you get to a point where you run out of time without having commit many ultimates. And that also just adds to the many things that really hurt them this series.
You know, there's only so much they can be done. I think that the game is very interesting in the, you get your tracers, they get ultimate, it seems like every time the wind changes direction, right? But then you have Zarya's where it just, it seems like once a year or even just a couple times a game or something like that. That's going to be a pretty solid average. But again, hey, theory crafting at its worst here. FBI Tugboat and Beatdown Boulevard. We'll be back with you guys in just a minute with an interview from the RIT actual player. Stay tuned. We'll be back with you guys in just about 60 seconds.
Welcome back, everybody. I believe FBI Tugboat has disconnected on us very unfortunately. Nope, he's back. Hello?
We'll get there.
Oh, I think it's a webcam mic angle for Tugboat, but you know what? Whatever. Well, while he gets it sorted out, we saw the match just take place. RIT win 3-0. So with us, we have one of their support players, Actual. Hello, Actual.
Hi.
Well, first of all, congrats on winning, and I guess I'll start off by asking you. I've been talking about it ever since Numbani happened. Essex playing the offensive Junkrat. What's that about? How do you come up with that?
I think well, we're getting like scrims and stuff. It's a lot about eventually kind of sometimes can degrade down into playing whatever. But I think the SL pick on Junkrat specifically kind of comes down to like he's just so good at it. And he'll take these, like, as crazy as it'll sound, these angles that some people just don't really seem to check for. Specifically, if you think back to Numbani, he just like kind of sat up top there, was really able to get a lot of value. And so kind of, I guess, little picks like that are why I think we're being really successful so far.
Okay. So just like the consistent element of surprise for a Junkrat, especially somebody who can get such crazy burst damage like that. So, yeah, makes a lot of sense. Now, Actual, you were playing the Zenyatta in the last map, but mostly you were looking at a more Lucio Mercy picks for you, correct?
Yes.
Gotcha. The one I wanted to ask is, what DPS on the side of University of Colorado was really giving you the most problems? Always had your number.
I think for the most part, I think I don't really know if it was like a DPS per se. I think that specifically on the last map, it was especially noticeable when the tanks would dive me.
Oh,
and,
yeah, sorry, I meant player in general. I guess I shouldn't specify.
Yeah, but I think that's always a scary situation when you have the ball hunting for you and you hear the pile driver start to come out and stuff. So kind of gets you scrambling, yelling for your team, stuff like that.
Peel.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like on me.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, it is a little unfortunate to get dived out, but such is the life of a support. I guess the next question I want to ask is, you guys looked really good today. Are there any matchups going forward that you are looking forward to? Any particular team you are concerned about, really want to face, for instance?
I don't think that there's really any teams that we're too concerned about. I mean, all the matches that we play against are, they're all the teams are good. We always enjoy preparing, playing the game, stuff like that. But I don't really think that there's too many that we're looking forward to, other than the other two teams I think that are like undefeated. Which I think one of them's Arlington. And I'm not really sure the other one off the top of my head, but yeah.
But you want to change that, right?
We would love to.
Okay, I like it.
Yes, sir. Some really, really fine performance from our RIT squad, taking down the University of Colorado 3-0 fashion. That was Elios, Numbani, Volskaya. Not a single point allowed for the side of University of Colorado. Actual, I want to thank you for coming in here afterwards, giving us a minute of your time after the match.
All right, yep, thanks for having me.
No problem, sir. We'll see you here soon for future competitions. Now, this is FBI Tugboat, and this is Beatdown Boulevard. We're going to have a couple new casters coming on in here and bring you the Overwatch action for the EGFC. That is the Electronic Gaming Federation Collegiate side. Overwatch action continues here soon. Do not tune away. The break will be short, I promise.